Hello.
And welcome to
Let the Girls Play. I'm Kelsey Bailey.
I'm Amelia Bain.
And we're here to talk about the WNBA Week 6.
Things are chaotic right now.
It's chaos.
I kind of thought it was going to be, we're going to ease right into the All-Star break. We're going to have a nice little Commissioner's Cup moment. No, that didn't happen. Things are happening.
Eurobasket ended and everybody lost their damn minds. People are getting waived. People are getting traded. We still don't know when Leonie Fibish is coming back. It's chaos.
Some players were waived. We have feelings about it, and we will talk about it at the appropriate time.
And let's talk about a team that has there's some motion happening, but let's not overshadow that they got 2 wins this week. Volt up, Dallas Wings. Y'all are 5-13. Mazel.
Volt up. I am telling you, this Lee Yarou trade is going to go down as one of the biggest trades, most impactful trades of the season. Not in league history. I'm not
Luka who?
Luka who? Let's pull up the stats. I mean, let's not. We don't do stats here. But if you have stats, if you're a stats person, give me the stats pre-Lee Yarou in Dallas and in the Lee Yarou Dallas era. You might want to call it the Paige Beckers era. I will be calling it the Lee Yarou era.
With Lee Yarou, in 1 week they've won 2 games. So, hey, that's a stat in my brain.
That's a stat. There's are numbers.
There's
within
something happening there.
Specific time frame. To me, that's a stat.
But like we said, there has also been some motion. Waived from the team, Haley Jones, I believe Kayla Charles also has been waived. And then in a shocking turn of events, heartbreak in Dallas as the people's couple, the people's prince and princess, Nalissa Smith and Dejanay Carrington have been separated as Nalissa Smith was traded to Las Vegas in exchange for Vegas's first round draft pick in 2027. The Juju year, as everyone is saying.
The Dallas era has ended. And I thought that was very clever from a marketing perspective.
Absolutely. Really disappointing, but I think good on Vegas. You're going to get a big that can at least get on the scoreboard.
And get some boards. Yeah.
Get some boards.
And it seems like she and Asia have a nice relationship. There was a clip that people were posting. I think it was an old clip from a game. Nalissa Smith and Asia Wilson were guarding each other, but Asia Wilson was giving her tips on her game. So that'll be nice to have somebody.
Something that she looks up to. Like yesterday after the news came out, Nalissa tweeted this makes me, I feel sick to my stomach, But then she also followed up with a tweet that's like, but all that being said, I am excited to go to Vegas and to play with my GOAT, who is obviously Asia Wilson. So she's also seeing the bright side.
Fair of her to have a moment of I'm gutted by this. My home is being broken up.
Yes.
I think they have a dog together.
I think they have 2 dogs together because I think Dejanay said, take care of the kids. Dejanay said, you take them.
You take the kids. Ugh.
And also, I know it was a homecoming for Nalissa, who's from Texas, played at Baylor. So to no longer be in Texas is probably also a personal loss for her as well, outside of, the relationship and the team itself.
Was Dejanay a free agent?
I believe so.
So she chose to come to Dallas. And you know what? This is a basketball league, but ultimately, it's about family. It
is about family. And the family of the Dallas Wings is shaken to the core now. However, we do have returning from overseas, our boys overseas, Louisa Geisel-Soder and Tiara McCowan both coming back from Eurobasket. Also 2 bigs on the team. So now we got Lee Yarou, we got Louisa Geisel-Soder, we got Tiara McCowan, 3 bigs.
Yeah. So Lee Yarou trade request incoming.
Yeah. She's like, hold on a second. Well, I do wonder, I'm in this concoction. And they also have Maisha Hines-Allen. They got a lot of bigs. I know they do it bigger in Texas, but it's too big. So yeah, let's see what happens with the Wings. Also got to be noted that Paige has really been playing out of her mind, and she has earned that all-star starting spot in my book for sure. Shout out Paige.
Yeah, so that's got to put her in the front for Rookie of the Year. I know we've said some things. It's not a lock. But that's got to put Paige a little bit ahead.
Yeah, we're less than halfway through the season, so anything can happen. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
No, is that Ellie Goulding?
Yeah, she was at Bezos'
She was at the
wedding.
Amazon wedding.
Yeah.
So
the Amazon Prime wedding.
Boo. But we were not invited to the wedding.
Sydney Sweeney, boo.
Boo.
Oprah, boo.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Boo.
It was already
I'd
boo
been
for
booing
him.
It's
been boo, but
it's been boo, honey.
Yeah. Paige, what a lovable gal.
Lovable
so
scamp.
Happy for her.
Yeah, even when she wasn't playing in that game against the Mystics, she was up out of her seat. She was calling balls that were like out about. Like she was engaged, and I find that very fun. And let's talk about a team that's been engaging because they finally got some dubs out of Perfect 500. It was scary for a little bit. I was worried Becky was going to get the belt out, start hitting some butts. Las Vegas Aces, 8-8, a win against the Sun and a big win against the Mercury, particularly big win against the Mercury. Crazy week for the Aces. We already talked about the trades, but also the waves. Tiffany Mitchell, Liz Kitley both have been waived from the Aces as they receive Nalissa Smith.
I still think they're waiving the wrong players, but at least they're making moves. At least they're doing something.
They're thinking about it. They're thinking about it.
They're looking at a couple players and they're saying, this could be you.
Yeah, look what's happening. You don't like that, huh? You better learn how to set a pick or whatever. That there was an interview with Becky after the Mystics game, and she was like, how did they not know the fundamentals of basketball? She was really going in on her team. Whew.
That's tough. But I would argue also that it is your job, Becky, at this point, to coach them, to know the fundamentals.
Yeah.
They
should
drills, already
babe.
know them, but
do some drills.
They don't. Yeah.
But that being said, with the trades and the waves, there were also some records being broken. Asia Wilson became the fastest player to get to 5,000 points in WNBA history in their game against the Sun. Shout out Asia.
Shout out Asia, doing it in some Princess and the Frog A1s.
Mm-hmm. We love it.
To see it.
For her accomplishments in this week 6, she was just named the Western Conference Player of the Week. And while Asia was breaking records, Chelsea Gray was breaking teeth off the face of Jade Melvin.
Did you watch the slow-mo? Because you could see
I watched it all.
Flying.
I watched it live, babe.
Flying.
Mm-hmm. They like slowed it out. You could really see it. And this is why I love Jade. She was still smiling on the sideline. She couldn't play, looking like she got absolutely mauled by like a tiger, but she was still like up and
smiling.
Could not care. It's also the second time she's broken that tooth.
Yes. I was just about to say that. She's like, here I am again. Oh. I love this game.
Oh. Time to get some veneers, honey. She's going to have big old chompers when we see her after All-Star break.
I hope she does. I hope she has like what are they called on Toddlers and Tiaras? Flippers?
Yeah, a flipper.
I hope she's got a big flipper.
Also, just like maybe start wearing a mouth guard if this is the second time that it's happened.
Yeah. Also, this is our second busted tooth of the season that I know of.
Who had the other one?
Sophie Cunningham got her tooth knocked out.
Forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Didn't watch the slow-mo of that.
Protect the teeth. Protect the teeth of these players. Maybe just pop in a mouth guard.
The CBA of 2026 better have some better dental coverage.
Do they have dental?
Do they have dental? They gotta have dental.
I'm gonna look. Do the WNBA players
expand their dental?
Dental insurance? I bet they don't, Kelsey. Okay, WNBA players are provided with dental insurance as part of their benefits package negotiated through the CBA. Okay. I would
really be surprised if they didn't have.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like there's some shady stuff going on in I just think about like WWE doesn't give like anything to their athletes.
Well, Secretary of Education, what's her face?
Linda McMahon. Yeah, she doesn't care about your teeth and she doesn't care about your children. That's what I'll say. Yeah, but thank God they get dental. And isn't it sick that I, for a moment, thought maybe they didn't?
Yeah.
That says something.
Yeah. You thought it was so bad. You thought it was WWE bad at the WNBA.
I don't know. I don't know. Some of it is.
Yeah.
The production value in some of the arenas, not as good as the WWE.
I know, that's right. Entertainment first, caring about the person second when it comes to WWE. But yeah, as much as we can dunk on, and as much as some of the players have dunked on Kathy, we can't compare her to the McMahons.
No.
Our Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon. From things that are depressing to a team that shouldn't be too depressed this week because they got 2 dubs. Chicago Sky, let's
go. Every time we're like dunking on a team, or a player, the next week they prove us wrong.
It's tough love over here.
So I think Angel Reese popped in her headphones, listened to Let the Girls Play, and she said, wait a second, let me pop off in front of Lisa Leslie.
Absolutely.
Let me get a stat line that maybe Lisa Leslie would have thrown up there.
Absolutely.
Back in the day.
If Lisa's there, she taught me how to do my layups. I gotta put on a big game. If Camila Cardoso is going to be playing at AmeriCup for the next couple of weeks, I gotta up my freaking game. So shout out, Angel Reese.
Yeah.
We're proud of you.
Angel also, in the game against the Sparks, in front of Candace Parker, had a beautiful stat line, too. I think she had like 24 points.
Yeah,
like that.
She's doing it. She's coming alive.
She's doing it.
But also want to give a shout out. Did just mention Camila is in Brazil representing her country for AmeriCup. But before she left, she did hit her first career 3-pointer in the WNBA. I think she had one when she played in college, and maybe she'll have one when she plays in the WNBA. But
oh my God! But remember the one.
I mean, the one in college mattered.
Yeah.
Mattered, but so fun. She had a great game before she left, and I think she went off on a high note. 27 points in their game against the Sparks, their first meeting against the Sparks. But yeah, I think it'll be really interesting to see what the Chicago Sky do again now that Eurobasket is over. Like, are they picking up a player that may have been waived from the Golden State Valkyries who just won Eurobasket as their point guard? Or are they picking up Sevgiusin from Turkey, who was waived by the Mercury, who's also a great point guard? Like, what are they doing? Because they haven't picked anybody up.
They haven't done anything, and we now know that they can't be, we suggested that they pick up Ari McDonald, which we'll get into later. Cannot happen now because she has been spoken for. But I do think that guard that just won Eurobasket, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Pick her up.
Pick her up, twirl her around, promenade that lady home. Let's talk about the team that I'm always rooting for.
It's always stick season, baby.
It's always stick season. I feel like we should just play that song every time we get to them. 8-9, Washington Mystics. 2 big wins against the Lynx and the Aces, and then falling to the Wings, which make sense, but doesn't matter.
Weird.
Jade Melvin's tooth did not stop them from absolutely dominating over the Aces. And all of these games, except for their loss against the Wings, Slim was out. So to do this without Slim.
A slimless 2-win week?
Yeah. But yeah, it was just really nice. This is just like a nice team.
They're a nice team. They're a lovable team. But they're also almost a winning team. 8-9. They're like just a couple games away from a winning record.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're sort of like, it's just like a dance between the Mystics, the Fever, and the Aces, like all hovering around that 8-9 record. But yeah, everyone's been balling. Shakira Austin absolutely balling out. She was the Week 5 Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Shug Sutton, great to see Shug Sutton balling out. How wonderful.
It's a beautiful time in the Washington, D.C. area, only in basketball ways.
If you're in that arena, I don't remember what the name of the arena is, what the name of the arena is that they play in. It's called like the Care First Arena or something. But let's go Sticks. We're at time of recording. We're still waiting to see the rest of the 12 All-Star bench players. The starters have all been announced, but interested to see if Slim made it onto the reserves for the All-Star. Fingers crossed. It would be so nice. I did my part.
That's
I voted.
All we could do.
I voted, even though some of the people in our TikTok comments on our video about the Indiana Fever All-Stars being voted in would have something else to say. I did my part and I voted. Other teams do have fans.
Teams do have
in our
fans.
comments.
Ooh, let's talk about a team that waived a player, but not for the reasons you usually waive a player. The Indiana Fever.
Mm-hmm. What Dallas did in tearing up a couple, Indiana Fever said, "We'll waive you to support your love, so you can be reunited."
They said, "Happy Pride, love wins,
love wins. You've been waived, Dawana Bonner.
You've been waived. You don't have to live in Indiana anymore."
No, you do not have to. Yeah, it was announced that DeWanna Bonner was going to be parting ways with the Indiana Fever. Obviously not getting the minutes that she was hoping to be getting from being on this team. I think she wanted a more not starring role, but just a more active role. I think more minutes, more time to play. She made a big change going from Connecticut there, and I think maybe she was just a little unhappy. And expressed that she wanted to leave, and unfortunately there was no trade that felt the Fever felt that they wanted to do for it, so they waived her instead, and in her place they have signed Arie McDonald.
This is great news for Arie and Arie fans like me. It seems like Indiana was a great fit for Arie, and in just like the short time she was there earlier this season, she had a huge impact. So I mean, I think it's never good to lose DeWanna Bonner, although it didn't seem like a great fit. But if you have to lose DeWanna Bonner, great pickup for the Fever to get Arie.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think it'll be interesting to see where DeWanna goes. Nothing at time of recording has been announced. She had expressed a preference for obviously returning home to the Mercury, where she started off her career and won 2 championships with them.
I think it's not a preference, Kelsey. I think she said, don't pick me to the other teams. Don't try to sign me.
Well, she also said Las Vegas. She said she would go to Vegas too.
When was this? Was this like in the last few days?
I don't know. Whenever she said
she was interested in like Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta, the Mercury, and I believe Vegas were.
I know,
the places.
But then I think it later came out that she was like, actually,
only Mercury.
Don't sign me. I only want to go to Phoenix. I don't know if that's true. That's what I saw somewhere.
Hey, if it's on Reddit, I believe it. Yeah,
it's kind of a baller move to be like, you know what? Don't even bother, because I'll force you to waive me.
I mean, I guess if she's fine with just not playing basketball in this like season,
yeah, because we can talk more about it with the Mercury, but like they've got a really good thing going.
Yeah,
I wouldn't touch it. I would just let it ride.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know how long Lexi Hell will be out with her like collapsed lung that happened during the Liberty game, but they could sign her to like a hardship contract. I don't know.
If it is just like a personal thing, like it's hard to be away from her wife. Are they married? Fiance?
I don't know if they're married yet. I think they're en fiance.
Future wife?
Yeah, it is true. She has never not played on a team with someone she's not dating on that team. Yeah. So
maybe she got to Indiana and she was looking around to see like who's my next girlfriend. She didn't find a suitable partner, so she said, you know what? I'll need to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
She's sort of like a Love Island kind of thing.
Love Island.
She's like, yeah.
But anyway, we'll see what happens.
She has left the villa.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with DB. I feel like maybe something won't happen till after the All-Star break, which could be like a bit of a ways away. But speaking of All-Star, shout out to Caitlin Clark, who will be the captain of one of the All-Star teams.
Yeah.
And I believe, yes, Aaliyah Boston has been selected as one of the starters for the All-Star. Shout out.
Good for Aaliyah. That's awesome. Yeah. And congrats to Caitlin. Yeah.
They deserve it. And let's talk about a team that they need something. Whether it's someone to be voted into All-Star, whether it's DeWanna Bonner to return, the Connecticut Sun. Hot diggity dog. Prayers up for Marina Mabry, who has been out for a couple games.
Yeah, she's injured, but it's not stopping Marina from getting on live and eating Taco Bell and doing little dances.
Yeah, Lauren Betts, you are a Connecticut Sun.
I hope you like gambling.
Yeah, I think she's going to be. I think she's predicted to be the number 1 draft pick.
I think so. Yeah.
Flage, you are a Connecticut Sun.
You are a Connecticut. Yeah, I don't know. We don't have a ton to say about Connecticut because it's just
it's a little bit sad right now.
But let me just repeat the refrain every week. We love you, Big Tina Charles. You can do it.
Sun.
So wait.
Stand with
if we
the sun.
Say this means next week they're going to thrive.
Mm-hmm,
if we say
they're going 3-0 for next week.
It's a hard time to be a Connecticut Sun player.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to pop off next week.
Absolutely. I do think that there has been like some players that have like risen to the top in these losses. Like Anissa Morrow had like 13 points or something in one of the games. So like that's so lovely to see. But yeah, I think it's just hard, but we're we stand with you, the Sun. We feel for you. We want you to get a dub as much as y'all do. So
we really do. Yeah.
And from the Connecticut Sun, where it's a little bit stormy skies, to the Seattle Storm, where it's a little bit sunny skies.
Why do we drive on parkways and park on driveways kind of thing?
Hey, come on. Is this thing on? Seattle Storm, 2 losses this week, 1 to the Fever, 1 to the Valkyries, but beating the Sun. They're at 10-7 right now. I think they should be feeling pretty good.
They should be feeling great. I mean, there was one game where they should not be feeling great, but in general,
absolutely dog walked by the Valkyries.
Yeah. It was like that game 1 of the season where they got dog walked. It's sort of a kind of game. But in general, big picture, let's not focus on these 2 games. Big picture, great season so far for the Storm.
NECA playing out of her damn mind. Every week her and Asia, every week they're just setting new records, moving up in the ranks. It's beautiful to see.
It's another, I don't know if we'd call it a record, but another fun fact about NECA is she joins a pretty short list of players who have made the All-Star team 10 times.
Oh.
She joins the ranks of Sue Bird, Tamika Catchings, Brittany Griner, and Diana Taurasi as the only players in WNBA history to have been selected 10 times.
Wow. Shout out NECA. We love you, NECA. And there's also like a really nice moment when Shanae called her when she got voted into All-Star. It was just very sweet. I love NECA. Everyone's giving NECA her flowers, and she deserves it. I feel like she went under the radar last season when she joined the Storm. Even in her final season with the Spark, she was injured for most of it. So just really happy to see her,
yeah,
getting the love.
Yeah, and there's so much enthusiasm for the rookies from last year and the rookies this year, but it's nice to remember that some of these players have been doing this for a long time and they're still at the top of their game.
Tina Charles.
And getting better. Tina Charles.
Tina Charles only getting better.
Only getting better.
Only getting better. This is there's more ways to go for Tina Charles. And let's talk about a player that needs the flowers have been gotten. She knows she's the freaking best. She's about to be the MVP. Let's talk about the Minnesota Lynx and Nafisa Collier, your other captain for the 2025 All-Star Game.
It's going to be Team Fee and Team Caitlin. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm in.
It's also what we'll be facing off at time of recording, tonight's Commissioner's Cup. Fever versus Lynx. Caitlin versus Fee.
Is Caitlin going to play?
I don't know. Her groin's been
hurting.
Caitlin Clark is questionable, which makes me think maybe they are going to have her play.
I think probably she shouldn't play because did you see those clips of even her jumping up to celebrate in some of the games she's been courtside? She was grimacing. But I think she will play because it's the Commissioner's Cup. It's one of the biggest stages for one of the tiniest trophies. It's a normal trophy now.
It's a normal size trophy.
Remember the teeny trophy?
Yeah. Or what was that? That was the All-Star MVP trophy or whatever that they gave Kelsey Plum. Was that what it was? Right. Or it was Commissioner's Cup MVP?
So. Commissioner's Cup MVP?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And it was
teeny tiny.
Wow. And that's when Kelsey Plum said, I gotta troll Kathy Engelbert for the rest of my fucking life. And guess what?
She committed.
She's been doing it. But we'll talk about that when we get to our next team. The Minnesota Lynx, they had 1 loss to the Mystics. That was when Fee was out. Not that that means anything. Anyone can lose to any team at any time. But Fee was out for that one. But we got to welcome back Jessica Shepard from Eurobasket. And then Fee was back in those games against the Dream and the Sun. 14-2, Minnesota Lynx.
14-2. I saw someone on Instagram posted this is my ranking of the finest players in the WNBA. And I was swiping through and they had number 2, Jessica Shepard.
Lesbians seem to really love her.
And
on TikTok, what? It's a lot of people being thirsty for her. On TikTok, they're thirsty for Jessica Shepard and they're thirsty for Emily Engstler.
That was number 1 was Emily Engstler.
I think they're very popular with certain types of white lesbians. I will say that.
Okay.
The people who like Megan on Queer Ultimatum. Have you been watching Queer Ultimatum?
I know, but I know who it is because
top knot type thing. Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. Number 2, hottest in the WNBA.
I'm going to edit it out. I'm really?
Don't edit that out. we're allowed to talk about the types of white lesbians that other white lesbians seem to be gravitating towards.
That just was, I found it number 2.
Not Rakia Jackson? Natasha Cloud? Not in the top 2?
These are our crushes.
These are our crushes. Everyone's allowed to have their crush.
Anyway, welcome back, Jessica Shepard.
Welcome back, Jessica Shepard.
We love you, girl.
Hey, girl. Whatever. Let's go. We talked about a little bit about our little stinker, Kelsey Plum. Let's talk about the Los Angeles Sparks this week. They had 1 win against the Fever, which I think was great for their morale, and then 2 losses against the Sky. And unfortunately, in that time, they did waive my Pit Panther, Leah Tu King. Hopefully, someone else will snatch her up, or she'll find another way to be able to play basketball. But I think she did fine for them while she was signed to them. She got some points. She helped.
She did. Yeah. I mean, it's just hard because you have these players get signed at training camp and they get waived. And then because of Eurobasket, some of them get second chances and then are waived once again. And you kind of knew they were always going to be waived, but still part of you hopes there would be some last minute executive order from Kathy to expand the roster size to 15.
You would think.
Before Eurobasket ends. And that didn't happen.
Of course that wouldn't happen. She's too busy.
Doing graphic design.
Doing graphic design and website design. She was building the step and repeat to be behind her for the expansion team announcement. She was setting up the stage. She was stage managing. But let's talk about Kelsey Plum being our little stinker. Not only did she tell Caitlin Clark to sit down during the Fever game because she was standing, she was like, sit down. She also came for Kathy's neck once again this week about the players being tired because of the addition of 4 additional games and just the way that they're being scheduled. And then she had to be carried by her own teammate.
That was one of the best. That was one of my favorite moments of the season so far.
Yeah.
Is first of all, Rakia, it didn't look even hard at all for her. So she just with ease picked up little Plum Dog and walked away. Yeah. She picked her up like she was like a baby and a baby Bjorn and just kind of hung her from the front of her body. It's kind of as like the short friend to a lot of tall friends. That's sort of how I feel a lot of the time. Yeah. It's just, I know with very little effort, most of my friends could just scoop me right up and get me out of a situation. And we do. That's beautiful. And we do. Yes. We do. But yeah, Kelsey Plum, hard week to be Kelsey Plum, I would say. There has been a lot of talk about the shooting slump for a lot of these players who were used to seeing big buckets from. They had like a little graphic of like, not only is this person 2 and 18 or whatever, and then they gave the whole list of people who are in their slumps. And in the comment section of that post, Kelsey Plum said, "We're all tired." And we know that she's already been vocal about the addition of the extra games, the way they're being scheduled. Some teams playing 4 games a week, some like all of the back-to-backs. So definitely something to be thought about. And I hope something that is, again, CBA, honey. CBA watch is what we're on right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And maybe they're just like not maybe. I think these players are speaking up more than they would have in past seasons because of the negotiations that are going to be happening soon. They're getting the talking points out there. They're getting public consciousness of like what they're going to be fighting for. So I think there can be like support from fans and from pressure from fans and all of that stuff to stand behind them as they start to negotiate. Mm-hmm. Stay strong. Stay strong. All the players. I stand with our players union. We stand with the union. Mm-hmm. We are not always in the players union. But that's only because we're not players. I'll pick it. Tell me where to go. I'll pick it. I got you. I'll get my sign ready. Here's one team that I'm not protesting, but I think Mima will be. Yeah. Golden State Valkyries. I know they'll win me back, but I'm a little bit. This is the first fight. This is our first fight. Yeah, this is our first fight. And Natalie Nakase's first new wife. Yeah. It's our first fight. It's hard. It's hard navigating your first fight with a new partner. You don't know confrontation styles. You don't know how it's going to go. You don't know if you're going to go on a podcast and say that you're fighting with them. You're in this fantasy where you think we'll never fight. I'll never have a reason to be mad. You're wonderful. And I know it's probably not Coach Nat's decision to waive Julie Van Loo. Mm-hmm. But it hurt.
Julie Von Loo.
And it hurt her.
Left.
Her plane touchdown. Essentially, she lands.
She left the celebration from winning Eurobasket with her Belgium team early to come back to Golden State. And to Mima's point, as soon as she touched down, she saw the social media graphic. She literally was taking off being like, coming for you, Bay Area, like, can't wait to be back. And then she landed and was like, wow, just landed. And as soon as I landed, I saw that I've been waived. I don't know how to process my feelings right now, but I'll have more to say on it later, that's just nasty work.
I know. And there was a clip of Coach Nat saying before the game, or not before the game, like a few days before they waived her, we've been in touch with all of our players who were at Eurobasket. We've been in touch with them. It just hurts.
Yeah, I do hope that Julie goes somewhere where she can be used to her full ability, somewhere like Chicago or Los Angeles if they need a point guard still.
Would love to see her go home to Washington.
Go back to Washington. Why not? Let's get some more guards out there. Yeah, send her home. Just hopefully somewhere great. But also along with the waiving of Julie Van Loo, they've waived Ariel Powers, Bree Hall, and Chloe Bibby. Again, making space for those players returning from Eurobasket. But with that said, they went 2-1 this week, wins against the Sky and that game against the Storm where they were playing out of their mind with a loss to the Liberty. Caitlin Chen popping off in some of these games, being great defensively, some big steals, some big breakaways. And I can see why they might want to keep her around.
I mean, with somebody losing an opportunity, someone else gets an opportunity. And so I'm upset with the Valkyries, but I still love the Valkyries and they will win me back. You're not going to have KT on your team and me hating you. It's just not possible.
I think it's
not possible.
I respect the hustle of this team so much. I can't be mad at them. You know, like it's not the play. I'm not mad at the players.
Yeah, they're in a position to make a push to like make a little playoff run. So
yeah, absolutely.
You gotta do what you gotta do. It's just not what I would have done or how I would have done it.
No. But I hope it's only better for Julie.
And I think it's fun to be in Chicago in the summer. So if that's where Julie ends up.
Oh, beautiful time to be in Chicago.
Go down to the lake.
Beautiful. Go to the lake, take a architecture tour on the river. Beautiful.
Beautiful time.
With all that's happening in Golden State, hopefully making a playoff berth. I'll tell you one team that I think is definitely going to be there, Phoenix Mercury.
They could do it. They could win it all.
Phoenix Mercury waived Megan McConnell, who did suffer that injury in her first game, and pick up Kiana Williams. And like we said, will they be getting DeWanna Bonner anytime soon, or will she be a wag in the stands? Also great for morale, I think.
I think it could be nice I would hate for this to be like the end of DeWanna Bonner's career.
Right.
For her to go out like this. But if you just take a little break, come back next year, rethink your decision of where you want to go.
Mm-hmm. The people of Phoenix love her. She's a legend in Phoenix. So, DB, could you be back? Who knows? But I'll tell you what, Alyssa Thomas is doing just fine. Alyssa Thomas said, I am requesting no trade. I am leading in assists. I am doing A-OK. I'm going to be voted into All-Star. Moving on to the other team that DeWanna Bonner said she wanted to be on, the Atlanta Dream. 2 wins, or just one win. One win? Yeah, one win over the Liberty this week with 2 losses to the Wings and the Lynx. During that game with the Wings, the Dream set a record for the worst shooting game by any team in the WNBA since 2010 at 23%.
That's really crazy.
I know, because you have Alicia Gray.
The killer shooters. I know, and Ryan, yeah, I mean, I guess Ryan sometimes does have moments where she's kind of like goes into Enrique mode and just chucking it. But Alicia Gray is an incredible shooter.
Yeah. She's an all-star starter.
Let's go.
Thank God. But yeah, I just thought that was such a funny stat. And that was like the worst shooting average since 2010. 15 years. Happy anniversary. 23%. But they made up for it in their game against the Liberty, where the Liberty once again have shown that without JJ, they ain't shit.
We cannot underestimate JJ ever again. Her importance to this team. The only games we have lost are JJ-less games.
Yeah.
And gosh, I just hope she gets healthy and can come back. I hope they don't rush her back. I wish we had but more consistent backup bigs.
Yeah.
Because I think Niara is, when she's on, she's so great, but she's just not going to give us the consistent performance that JJ can give us.
Yeah, because when we go to our bench, it's not the same. All we can say for the New York Liberty, who are at 11-5 right now, 1 win against the Valkyries and two losses, is, dear God, please bring Leonie Fibish on and get her ready for Thursday's game. Let's freaking go.
And I said it last week, but I'll say it again. Liberty fans, this is a time you lean into your other hobbies and interests. Which luckily for me, my other hobbies and interests are the Atlanta Dream, who beat the Liberty this week. So
let's freaking go.
For me. Yeah. But we just need JJ back. We just need Leo back. I saw a lot of posts on Instagram that were like, clearly for seeking like engagement, that were like, are the Liberty in trouble? They dropped to 11-5. And it's like, they're missing 2 of their starters. So what do we expect?
Yeah. What do we expect? And give them some grace. We're only 16 games into the season, less than halfway through. So truly anything can happen by the end of this season. And you know what could also happen by the end of this season? We can get even more expansion teams announced.
Let's go.
3 more teams coming by 2030. We know about Portland. We know about Toronto, but we've also got Cleveland returning to the WNBA. We've got Detroit returning to the WNBA, and we have the debut of a WNBA team in Philadelphia. Let's freaking go.
The fans in Philly are known for being just the worst, best fans in the world. Best, worst fans in the world. So I cannot wait. If you thought the W was toxic now, wait for Philly to enter the chat.
Philly has entered, the Philadelphia Water Ices have entered the chat. Yeah, have entered the villa, and they are coming with their starting lineup of Kalia Copper, Benijah Laney Hamilton, and Natasha Cloud in 2030. And hey, if Maddie Segrist wants to return to the Philadelphia area, she played for Villanova. Let's go.
This is exciting. I think is
Rakia from Detroit? Coached by Dawn Staley.
Dawn said she doesn't want to coach; she wants to own. She wants to be part owner. So
our special brains on the internet have been connecting Dawn's contract with the Gamecocks is through 2030. Philadelphia WNBA team starts 2030. Could there be?
Let's get the red string.
Let's get something in the works, Dawn Staley. It's time to come home to Philly.
It's time. I saw like some NBA fans that were like, because the Knicks need a new coach. They want Dawn Staley to be their coach. Yeah, apparently there was rumor that they reached out to her about it. Why would she leave before the 2030 Philly team is ready?
No, I don't think she wants to coach the NBA. She's not about that life.
It's so much excitement in the WNBA right now, and in the future of the WNBA.
So much happening. So much that will probably happen just by the time we get back on this mic next week. There will be more history made. There will be a new Commissioner's Cup champion, or maybe the same Commissioner's Cup champion. There might be more
trades.
There might be more freaking trades. There might be more expansion teams. There might be a new commissioner. Who freaking knows?
Who freaking knows?
But we will be here.
One thing we do know.
Yeah, one thing we do know. Everyone involved with the WNBA is a hero. Except the refs. Bye.
Bye.